We live in a time of parties, a time of celebrations, even though many people don't know what they are celebrating, therefore, it's what they do, and people come together for that. Regardless of whether you participate in the celebrations, I would like to warn you. The Holy Scriptures shows that when we surrender to what usually happens at a party, at a celebration, we become more vulnerable. Yes, vulnerable. In other words, weak, susceptible to what can come against us, and defenseless. An example of this in the Bible, in the times of the Lord Jesus, in a party, the death of John the Baptist occurred. You will see how it happened. John the Baptist was arrested because he publicly condemned Herod for taking his own brother's wife. He condemned him, saying that he was committing adultery. Then John was arrested, and while arrested, Herod threw this party. He wanted to kill him. Actually, the woman that John condemned, Herod's brother's wife, wanted to kill him because he criticized that relationship, but Herod was doing anything because he was afraid, as John was considered to be a prophet by the people. Then John the Baptist was in prison. Then Herod decided to throw a birthday party. And he says, then an opportune day came when Herod, in his birthday, gave a feast for his nobles, high officers, and the chief men of Galilee. He used to do that every birthday of his to celebrate himself. And when Herodias' daughter herself came in, the daughter of this woman came in and danced and pleased Herod and those who sat with him. Which means the girl might have done some erotic dance that pleased the men at the party, and Herod certainly had already drunk a few, and before his special guests, wanting to show power to them, he said to the girl, "Ask me whatever you want, and I will give it to you." In other words, he got excited, wanting to show power, and said to her, "Anything you ask, I will give you." He also swore to her, "Whatever you ask me, I will give you, up to half my kingdom." See how a person can become a fool, vulnerable, during a party. Maybe not everyone, but many. Someday, at a restaurant or a party, a pub or bar, excited by the friends and everything else, decided to pay everybody's bill. Eat and drink freely. I will pay the bill. The person got too excited and everybody was happy and said, "So-and-so is the guy." Everybody excited, and he decided to pay the bill. And when the bill came, you were happy because everybody else was heavy. But look at that. Everybody's happy because of me. Then the bill came and you started to cry. When the bill came, right? It dawned on you, what have I done? Yes. How many people have left a restaurant with a credit card burst, left the party and leaving there all the salary, because they were vulnerable in that environment of friendship, joyful environment, and wanting to impress, paid for them, spent the money that you couldn't. Of course, in a higher scale, that was done with Herodias' daughter. Ask me whatever you want, and I will give it to you. Even half of my kingdom. A fool led by a party which led him to be childish. At least childish and irresponsible act. So she went out and said to her mother, she was a viper, a serpent. What shall I ask? Then she said, the head of John the Baptist. The woman, filled with hatred towards John, said, daughter, make the most of this moment and ask John's head. The mother serpent asked, and the daughter serpent went in and said, I want you to give me at once the head of John the Baptist on a platter. And the king was exceedingly sorry, yet because of the oaths and because of those who sat with him, in other words, the pride, the appearance, he did not want to refuse her. And he asked for John the Baptist's head on a platter. You see, the people at a party can do anything because they are drunk, if not for drinking, for the sake of friendships, of appearance, to show that they can, to show that they are free. How many women leave a party and go to a bed or a room with some men that they found at a party? Men do the same. How many used drugs or they got drunk, even became addicts there in that party because the friends were telling them, you have to do it. Everybody is doing it to please others. Then they went there and decided to do it. So the person does it because the crowd is motivating them, because the crowd is in a frenzy state. People are frantic. And to follow others, they end up doing it. Be careful. Watch out, dear friends. The Bible speaks about the heavenly feasts. Whenever we speak about parties, people say, but in the Bible there were parties, the heavenly parties, the feasts. That is something else. The celebrations that God determined to be done had a spiritual characteristic. Jesus even went to some of those, but not to the celebrations, the feasts that are done today. You need to be careful, because everything that sharpens our emotions weakens us. What sharpens, stimulates your emotions, weakens your rationale. And when you realize it, you've already messed up. Then you will become sad. Why have I done that? It's the hangover. What is the hangover? It's the bad feeling after the party. And how many are with a moral hangover out there? A spiritual hangover after the parties, after the trip, after the enjoyment that they enjoyed. They went to enjoy it, and they came back used, destroyed by drinking, drugs, sex, promiscuity, feeling dirty, regretting of things that they don't even remember. Because there's even that. There are some who don't even remember what they've done, what happened, who they were with. They could have been raped, and they don't even remember. Yes, unfortunately, it's hard. But God calls us to what? To assess, to sobriety. Do you want to be victorious in life? Then you have to seek sobriety. Even when celebrations happen, such as the ones that God demanded, they must have a worthy reason to happen, and not the stupidity there is on parties out there. We live in hard times, but expect parties to be even more frequent. Have you noticed there are pre-carnival, post-carnival? The tendency of human beings is to extend the parties for the whole year, because as long as they are at the parties, they are not reasoning. And it is the interest of many that you do not think, that you do not use your reasoning, but that you are numb, with your mind blocked, and only doing foolishness, and spending not only money, but your life, in a situation that later will regret. Think about it very well. Let's keep our sobriety, our reason. Let's think. Let's take this time while others are celebrating, and many are even losing their lives in the midst of it. Let's be down to earth, keep our head in place, our heads in heaven, because this will be much better for us, and our joy, this one, will be true. If today's video helped you and you know someone that could benefit from it, share it with them, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you may do so now. See you later.